All right. Hello, everyone, and welcome to this week's Office Yoga. This week, we're going to do something a little bit different. Like I say, we try to change it up each time. But first of all, before we get started, let me welcome you to Office Yoga. My name is SacBe. I'll be your host today. I'd like to thank our sponsors, crowdcast.io. That's how we're streaming this. If you ever have streaming needs for any of your work, please check them out. Also, a little disclaimer notice here. Office Yoga is meant to feel good while you're doing it and the day after. So if you're doing something that feels uncomfortable, listen to your intuition, consult your health practitioner if needed. But overall, we should be pretty good, and I'll show you some different ways to accommodate different levels of flexibility and things like that. So with that said, let's go ahead. We'll do a little stretching, we'll do a little breathing, and we'll do a little meditation at the end. Okay. So what we're going to do today is an adaptation of some full yoga poses that are often done with a mat and, the right clothes and environment. And we have two different style things. We have a sun salutation and we have a triangle series, which are classic parts of many different yoga branches. And we're going to do them office yoga style today. All right. So we'll start off standing up. Turn it back a little bit. And so if you haven't seen sun salutation before, it often involves reaching up, reaching down, stepping down into a down dog, going up into an up dog, et cetera, like that. So we're going to do a light variation on that. All right. So you're going to want to give yourself plenty of room to step back, step forward, et cetera. You're going to start facing one way. Inhale, bring the arms up. Reach back a little bit. Exhale. Come forward, placing the hands right above the knees, bending forward. Then you're going to take your right foot and you're going to step it back. Clean up here. Take your right foot, step it back. And bring the arms up and back like this. Oh. And then come forward, bending forward again. And now take the left foot, stepping back. And bring the arms up and over. Oh, coming back forward again. Putting the hands on the knees, bending forward, and then reaching up and back. Oh, stretching back. Get that full stretch in like that. Okay, and then we'll come forward again. Bending the knees a little bit, hands right above the knees, arching the spine. Taking your right foot back, step back, arms up, stretch back like this. And you should feel a tightness stretching through this right thigh here. Up, back, and then stepping forward again like this. And now taking the left foot back, strengthening it tight so you feel a nice stretch through the left thigh. Up, reaching back. Oh, and stretching forward again, bending the knees, bending forward a bit like this, hanging the head, and then coming up. Now we're going to do one more, which is kind of like a chair squat. So pretend like you're squatting down into a chair, but we don't actually have the chair there. I can't go down all the way. Some folks can get really, really low. Whatever level, interlace your fingers with index fingers pointed like that, up above the head. Just sit here for a few deep breaths. In the nose, out the mouth. Tighten your legs. You should feel a little bit of burning sensation. That's good. And inhale up, arms down, relaxed. Let's shake it out a little bit. So that's our kind of office yoga style sun salutation. It'll look different when you're doing it in a normal yoga class with a mat. Now we're going to do a triangle series, which often involves side triangle, extended side triangle, half moon pose, balance poses, things like that. But we'll do them kind of office yoga style a little bit easier. Okay, so spread your legs apart wide, feet facing forward, and then turn your right foot out to the side and turn your left foot in a little bit. So just to show you the feet positioning, it should look like that. All right? You're going to take your right hand, you're going to bend down. Your hand might come to your knee. If you could reach down to your shin, that's great. And the other arm is going to go straight up, and you're going to look at the ceiling. And then you're going to bend your right knee, place your elbow about halfway down your thigh, and let that arm come out straight like this. Again, rolling up, looking up to the sky. And then if you can, step forward and just balance on one foot like this. So arms wide, foot back, and it might just look like this. But if you can, see if you can balance just like that, and then turn to balance like this. If you need to hold on to something. And then stepping back. So now we've got a bent front foot. Our feet are facing forward. This foot is a little bit to the side. Bring your arms up, stretch up, and then turn this foot out a little bit so it's facing forward. Bend the legs and come down into what they call one of the warrior variations of the pose. So knee bent and like this, looking out over your right hand. Take a few deep breaths there. Okay. Now come forward again, hands together. And we'll do the other side. All right, so once again, left foot is going to face straight out that way. Right foot is going to come in a little bit. Stretch the arms out. Bring the hand down. It could either be right above the knee if that's where you are, or down to the shin. Other arm is pointed straight up, and try to rotate your chest. So you're looking at the sky. Bend your leg a little bit. Put your arm onto your shin and stretch up over. So you should push down into your heel and feel a stretch all the way up your leg, all the way through your hands like this. Then we'll do the balance. So if you can, come up onto one foot. Arms wide, just like that. And then facing forward. All right. Stretching like this, arms forwards, balancing on one foot. Coming back. Legs stretch up. And then turn the right foot out a little bit towards the forward. Bend the knee into the warrior variation. Stretch the arms out wide. Take a few breaths here. Come up to the top. Point your toes forward. Put your hands in prayer position and just do a little forward bend. Bringing them down onto the knees. Rest here a minute. Depending on how flexible you are, you might only get this far. You might get all the way down into a forward bend. Might only be about right here. Either way, it's okay. Let the head hang heavy a little bit. Stretching the neck out. And then slowly inhale. Coming up. Let's give it a little shake out. All right. So that's something you could play with on your own. There are all sorts of variations you could do with that. But that's what we'll cover for today in terms of our stretching. So let's move on now to our breathing exercises, and we'll do a breathing exercise we've done before. As I've said, some breathing exercises bring you a lot of energy, some calm you down. This one is meant to calm and balance your mind. So it deals with balancing the hemispheres of the brain and bringing you into a nice calm place. It's called alternate nostril breathing. All right. Now, what you may not know is that during the day, we tend to breathe primarily through one nostril or the other. And in yogic science, depending on what nostril we're breathing in, it can have different effects on the body. Breathing in through the left nostril tends to be more cooling. Breathing in through the right tends to be more activating. So what we're going to do is a series of holding one nostril closed, inhaling through one, holding the breath, and then exhaling through the other nostril. Holding the breath out for a moment, inhaling in, holding them both closed, then exhaling out the other. So we go in one, hold it, out the other, hold it, in the other, hold it, out the original one. And we'll do that for a few minutes, okay? And this can be really good if you're ever feeling anxious or upset or angry. You just need to calm yourself down. Really good technique, all right? So there are different ways of doing this, of blocking the nostrils, different hand movements, whatever is comfortable. I like to put the right thumb underneath the right nostril and then switch and use my index finger when I need to plug the left nostril. But whatever is comfortable for you. You can usually do it with one hand, or if you need to switch hands, that's fine too. All right? So let's go ahead and begin. Plug the right nostril with the right thumb. Inhale through the left nose for about 4 or 5 seconds. Hold it closed for about 4 or 5 seconds. And then exhale. Hold it out for just a moment and then inhale in again. Close, hold the breath, and then exhaling out. Continue, inhaling in. So keep doing this about 4 to 5 seconds. You only hold the breath out for a minute before you begin, for a moment. Keep going. I'm going to talk about this as you're going. So inhaling through one nostril, holding it, exhaling through the other, and repeat. Keep going on your own. There are a lot of different variations to this. Some involve inhaling, holding, and exhaling for the same amount of time. You could build up to 8 or 10 seconds if that is better and your breath is capable of doing that. There's some variations where you inhale for a certain amount of time, hold it for a certain amount of time, and exhale for different durations, so it's not equal. There are a lot of variations to this one. We're doing the simplest, which is keeping the exact same amount of time through all of them. So go back. I'm going to start back up in a moment here, inhaling through my left nose. If you're at a different part of the cycle, just keep going. I'm going to make it a little bit longer now, closer to 8 seconds. Little bit longer here. Last time. Exhaling out. Good job. So you can keep on doing this a little longer if you need. Definitely a good one. Anytime you feel you need to stabilize yourself, balance yourself out, a great breathing exercise. And it does help balance the different hemispheres of the brain, balance the yin-yang channels within the body. Great yogic practice there. Now let's move on to our meditation. So the meditation we're going to do today is a forgiveness meditation. So a lot of times we just do simple meditations where we try to calm down. This one we are going to hold a particular thought pattern. And the more we practice these, then the easier it gets in our day-to-day life. So the meditation is simple. We simply say, I forgive X or whatever it is because it never took my peace away. Okay? So as we're doing this, you'll sit quietly. You'll breathe deep in through the nose, either out through the mouth or out through the nose, whichever feels more comfortable. You'll close your eyes and you'll let things come to mind that have disturbed you in the past. It could be family related, it could be friend related, it could be something current, it could be something really old, and no doubt something will come to mind. You shouldn't have to force it. And as it comes to mind, you hold this thought pattern of I forgive this because it never took my peace away. And from a yogic perspective, you see peace is a state that always exists. It's an absolute one. So it's us that bounces in and out of that state, but the peace never went away. It's not like we get all upset and peace is gone. No, peace has existed that whole time. We're choosing to experience something else. So this is a really good practice because it keeps us empowered. It lets us let go of negative energies we have towards other people. Good practice. It might be a little uncomfortable. It may get you a little frustrated, but stay with it. Deep breaths. So let's go ahead. Sit up tall like a yogi. Roll your shoulders up and back. Pinch them back behind you. Tuck the sternum and pelvis in a little bit so you're nice and tall. Close your eyes, begin to breathe deep, and begin repeating the words, I forgive this because it never took my peace away. I forgive this because it never took my peace away. And let certain things come to mind. It could have been from today, things that you got upset about, could be larger issues, could be family, like I said. Stuff will come. Most of us have unresolved forgiveness issues to learn. So breathe deep and repeat the saying, I forgive this because it never took my peace away. And as you do it, try to create distance between whatever that was and returning yourself to that state of peace that always exists. Calming the body, calming the mind, empowering yourself, letting go of pain and hurt, entering into a state of peacefulness. I forgive this because it never took my peace away. Let it go. Sometimes we think in meditation that we're just supposed to still and do nothing. This meditation may require a tremendous amount of inner work and effort. That's okay. Keep on going, telling yourself, I forgive this because it never took my peace away. Really believing that that's true, really knowing that peace is a state we choose to move in and out of. It's never an external situation that causes that. A little bit longer. I forgive this because it never took my peace away. Start to get drowsy or lose focus, come back to what we're focusing on. Meditation of forgiveness. Meditation of empowerment. If you recheck how you're sitting, sit up tall, breathing deep. I forgive this because it never took my peace away. Take a big breath in. Hold your breath. Put your hands in prayer pose in front of your chest. Give yourself a moment of gratitude. Big exhale. There you have it. This week's office yoga, a little stretching. Excuse me, getting over a cold. A little stretching, a little breathing, a little meditation practice. Keep it up on your own. Keep up those happy, healthy habits, and I'll see you next week.